Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to discuss two articles with the same kind of subject, and that is Mariupol's Azovstal steel plant. Developments, two of them. One regarding the uh, some statements made by the Russian army regarding the current situation of the plant and the attacks, and the second one has to do with some information regarding civilians in Azovstal steel plant. So let's go and start. Let's start with the first one, and the first one comes from Republic World, and it's dated May 4th, 2022. And this is the title: Ukrainian forces in Azovstal are securely blocked. Russian Ministry of Defense report. So Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that the Ukrainian forces in the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol have been securely blocked after the evacuation of the civilians via the humanitarian corridor. I thought they were blocked before. What's going on? Blocked from leaving or blocked from what? Getting supplies? Russian President Vladimir Putin has directed his troops to block the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, where thousands of Ukrainian soldiers were still fighting in the final holdout of the besieged port city. In accordance with the instructions of the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, the remnants of the militants located in the industrial zone of the Azovstal plant are securely blocked. All right, along the entire perimeter of this territory. Um, so repeated proposals to the nationalists to release civilians and lay down their arms with a guarantee of saving lives and decent treatment in accordance with the norms of international law by them ignored. We continue these attempts, he added. So important. So repeated proposal to release civilians and lay down their arms with a guarantee of saving lives. Not guarantees to their saving lives. Well, some lives. It means some will be, all right. And decent treatment, okay, in accordance with the norms of international law. In accordance to the international law, that means, if we find mercenaries and foreigners and things like this, they will be treated differently than the Ukrainian military. All right. Well, that should be done. Anyone should do that, obviously. That's why I think the guys in Azovstal do not want to lay down their arms and surrender. But who knows? I'm not in there. Now, there are some civilians. Let's see here. It's an article regarding some civilians, and it's from the same source, the Republic World, the same date, May 4th, 2022, and this is the title: 30 children still trapped in Mariupol's Azovstal steel plant, Ukraine MP says. So Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik, or Rudic, I think it's Rudik, said that while as many as 156 civilians have managed to leave the besieged city of Mariupol into the Ukraine-controlled Zaporozhye, there are still nearly 30 kids trapped inside the Mariupol's Azovstal steel plant that Russia's Ministry of Defense has sealed securely. Well, if there are 30 kids, we assume that a kid and a half for a family, right? So you multiply that, let's say about another, what, 45, I would say 45, maybe more than that. I don't know. It depends. Maybe not. Maybe some, I would say if they're two parents, then you got what? No more than 100 more civilians trapped over there that have children. I don't know how many other civilians that have no children are still in that. So you can imagine that we were all in tears once the first group reached out to safety. Yes, it is incredible. It is incredible progress that we have made in getting people out. Well, if Putin did not want to let them go, you could have been right now crying even Crimea River. That's what you would be right now. So you can blame Putin and his armies for whatever crimes and this, and you can hail if you want United Nations and your own attribution in support and all that. The problem is without the Russians, no fly would have flown out of the Azovstal, as Putin said. So nevertheless, yeah, but that's war. What do you want? Those are their enemies, so they're not very happy about it, and they shouldn't. So, says Ukrainian blah blah blah, speaking with Sky News. The main goal now is to evaluate all the children who are still at the plant alongside women, the elderly, and injured soldiers. What about men? Nah, the men are not part of the deal, I guess. So yeah, unfortunately, always the vulnerable are uh, the ones who get hurt the most in a war, and in this case, obviously, children, civilians, elderly, and all that. The Russians said that they secured all the Azov plant. This is the first time when I hear this kind of statement, because before it was I think self-understood by the what the Russians were communicating and what the Ukrainians were communicating, and they were saying that those are trapped over there. They're trapped. A trap means you're caught. You can't go anywhere. So now finally the Russians stated they uh, sealed the plant, so nobody goes out. Nobody. I thought that it was already done. Nevertheless, if that's the case, they will then have the power to allow in and out whomever they want, which I thought that was the same arrangements. I'm assuming that some logistical and tactical maneuvers over there, they probably made it clear that they provide some corridors, some exits. They are in contact with the guys trapped, with the military trapped, the fighters trapped, the Ukrainian fighters in the catacombs, in the basements of the steel plant, and probably that's a continuous negotiation regarding releasing those. Uh, uh, I don't want to say hostages because I really start thinking that uh, that's my assessment. Those civilians, some of them might be held over there against their will, and they are used as do not go in and kill us all because we have civilians and it's going to look bad. So I think that's part of it. And probably some civilians are, I don't think they're families of the fighters over there. I mean, why would you keep your family with you? Why don't you send them in the West, just to be with you and now you're trapped? I don't know. I'm just saying, my assessment is that there are foreign combatants over there, fighters. There are probably some officers from outside. I think there are obviously. I think there are mercenaries, volunteers from foreign countries, not necessarily with Slavic names. There are civilians over there. I think that some of them are voluntarily staying over there. Some of them are not voluntarily staying over there. I'm also think the way human nature is, there are some fighters who really don't want to be over there, but they really can't be somewhere else, and they don't want to meet their God sooner than later, which means in the catacombs from their officers or whomever fellow fighters. But these are just my uh, interpretations of the things I learned, and might be wrong, but I give it a high percentage that I'm right, and we'll find out. I know we will find out sooner or later. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. See you in a moment.